Inside a dimly lit tent in Canaan, the patriarch Isaac is nearing the end of his life. His body is failing, but his world is defined by a more specific vulnerability. His vision has faded to near total blindness. Isaac prepares to deliver his patriarchal blessing. In this era, the blessing was more than a father's hope. It was a legally binding, irreversible transfer of spiritual and material authority. Once these words were spoken, they could not be retracted. But the family is divided. Isaac favors his eldest, the rugged hunter Esau, while his wife Rebekah favors the younger twin, Jacob, who stays among the tents. The immediate crisis begins when Isaac summons Esau. He asks his favorite son to hunt wild game and prepare a savory meal, intending to bestow the blessing the moment he returns. With Isaac nearing death and Esau out in the open field, a brief window opens. For Rebekah, this is the final opportunity to intervene and redirect the destiny of the covenant. This wasn't the first time the brothers' inheritance had been at stake. The tension stems from a previous transaction regarding the Bakora, the birthright. Years earlier, Esau returned from the field exhausted and famished. In a moment of short-sighted desperation, he traded his status as the firstborn to Jacob for a simple bowl of red lentil stew. While the birthright guaranteed a double portion of property, the blessing was the mantle of leadership. It was the divine authority required to actually lead the family. Jacob legally owned the birthright, but without Isaac's spoken word, he had no power to claim it. To bridge that gap, he and his mother would have to deceive the only sense Isaac had left. Rebekah begins coordinating the deception. Jacob's primary fear is physical. He is smooth-skinned, while his brother is famously hairy. He knows that because his father cannot see, he will rely entirely on touch. If Isaac reaches out and feels Jacob's skin, the trick will be exposed, likely turning the intended blessing into a curse. Rebekah systematically replaces Esau's reality. First, taste. She cooks domestic goats to mimic the distinct flavor of wild game. Next, smell. She dresses Jacob in Esau's unwashed garments to mask his identity. Finally, touch. She binds hairy goatskins onto Jacob's smooth hands. Jacob enters the tent not as himself, but as a composite of sensory data designed to lead his father to a false conclusion. The moment Jacob speaks, Isaac is suspicious. The timeline doesn't make sense. The hunter has returned far too quickly. Isaac falls back on his remaining senses. He orders his son to come close, needing the confirmation of touch to resolve his doubt. Isaac is left caught between two conflicting realities. He famously notes, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." In the end, the tactile evidence of the goatskins and the earthy scent of the clothes prove more persuasive than the sound of the voice. Isaac eats the meal, drinks the wine, and delivers the blessing. The mantle of leadership is passed, and the transfer of power is complete before the true heir even returns. Jacob exits the tent just moments before the real Esau returns from the hunt with his own meal prepared. When Isaac realizes he has been misled, the text describes a violent trembling that takes hold of him. He has been used as the instrument of his own favorite son's displacement. Esau lets out a great and bitter cry, realizing the gravity of the theft. He begs his father to find some remnant of a blessing for him as well, but there is nothing left. In this tradition, once the words are spoken, the authority is gone. Isaac can only offer Esau a secondary destiny, one of warfare and eventual servitude. Esau's response is immediate. He vows to murder Jacob the moment their father's mourning period ends. Rebekah intervenes one last time, forcing Jacob to flee his home and go into exile in the distant lands of her brother, Laban. Jacob now holds the birthright and the blessing, but the cost is total. He secures his place as the father of a nation, but he will never see his mother again. In the biblical narrative, destiny isn't a reward for the righteous.